my dear kids, how are you? I hope you are staying safe at home. Okay, so today we will be talking about Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, first let us revise. Okay, first thing we'll be talking about Delhi Sultanate, which lasted from 1206 to 1526, and we have 5 dynasties: slave dynasty, slave dynasty, Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty, and Lodi dynasty. And we have completed slave dynasty and Khalji dynasty, and today we will be talking about Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, see, Tughlaq dynasty ruled for a close to 100 years. Underline. It produced 2 powerful rulers, Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, the first ruler of this dynasty was Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. He put down rebellions and strengthened the Sultanate. He was succeeded by his son Jona Khan. Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a very powerful ruler. Ibn Battuta gives us a lot of information about his reign. He tells us that the Sultan had great ideas and plans that failed because the common people could not understand them. Actually, who is Ibn Battuta? First thing, we all have studied about Marco Polo. Ibn Battuta was also a traveler who came to India at that time, and he has written and told to people, to historians, about who was Muhammad bin Tughlaq, what did he do, etc. Basically about the Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, so Muhammad bin Tughlaq had lots of ideas, but that was very uncommon to the common people. They were not able to understand his ideas. Okay, so that is why it failed. First, taxation in Daub to increase revenue collection. See, revenue is one of the most important things. पैसे ही नहीं होंगे तो काम कैसे होगा? समझे आप लोग? So, to increase revenue collection, the Sultan raised the land tax in the Doab region. However, the king's timing was not good. The Doab was facing a severe famine during this period. Ma'am, what is famine? Who will tell me what is famine? Who will tell me? Okay, I am not going to tell you. You have to answer me. Fine? Okay. I'm waiting. I'll be waiting for your replies as soon as my video ends. Let me see who will be the winner and who will be telling me what is famine. Okay? Okay, to raise taxes at such a time was a mistake. Many peasants abandoned their land, some of them revolted. Ultimately, the Sultan had to withdraw his orders. Actually, they were already in a crisis, and then the revenues were increased. There was a lot of problem for the common people. And who were the common people? The peasants, farmers, small traders, etc. Clear? Now, shift of capital. अच्छा मैं बताऊँ, हम एक क्लास में बैठे हुए हैं और हमारी क्लास चल रही है, आई एम टीचिंग, यू आर लिसनिंग. मैं बोलूँ उठो 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 उठो, हम लोग ना, हमें 3rd फ्लोर पे जो क्लास है ना, हमें वहाँ पे जाना है. तो मैं बोलूँ नहीं, बेकार क्या है यहाँ के, यहाँ तो प्रॉपर वेंटिलेशन ही नहीं है, अच्छा भी नहीं लग रहा है, उठो उठो यहाँ से, हम लोग एकदम 1st फ्लोर पे जाएंगे. बोर हो जाओगे ना, बार बार बैग उठा रहे हैं, फिर ऊपर जा रहे हैं, फिर नीचे आ रहे हैं, फिर ऊपर जा रहे हैं, कितना बोरिंग लग रहा है. सेम चीज़ इन्होंने, same cheese was done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. What did he do? He shifted the entire capital. यहाँ तो आप बैग उठा रहे हो, लोगों ने पूरा अपना घर का सामान उठाया और फिर वो इधर शिफ्ट हुए और फिर वापस आ गए. किंग ने बोला अब किंग के ऑर्डर सामान नहीं बढ़ेंगे, और ये सब चीज़ें लोगों को अच्छी नहीं लगी. अब समझ में आया why his plans were uncommon for the common people. Now let's study what happened. In 1327, Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to shift the capital of empire from Delhi to Devagiri, which he renamed Daulatabad. Most historians believe that there were 2 reasons. Sultan feared that he would be able to control and administer from Daulatabad. Mongols were a constant threat to Delhi, and Daulatabad would be safe. Muhammad bin Tughlaq ordered the entire population of Delhi to move to Daulatabad. People did not want to leave their homes but had to obey the king's order. However, the king soon realized that it was impossible to keep a watch, so he did order to reshift his capital. Now are you understanding what is happening? He first said चलो 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 3rd फ्लोर पे चलना है, फिर he said नहीं 1st फ्लोर पे चलना है, and then यहाँ तो हमें बैग्स उठाने पड़े, वहाँ पे तो लोगों ने पूरा अपना घर चेंज करना पड़ा उन्हें. That is why his plans failed. Okay. Now introduction of token currency. In 1329, Muhammad bin Tughlaq introduced a token currency. There was a shortage of silver during this period, so Sultan decided to mint copper coins of brass and copper for day-to-day use. These coins have the same value as pure silver. Muhammad, however, failed to check the illegal minting of coins. The design of the coins was simply enough for ordinary craftspeople to copy. बहुत सिंपल सी चीज़ हुई. उस टाइम पे सिल्वर कॉइन्स की कमी हो गई, तो किंग ने बोला कि जितने भी हमारे ब्रास एंड कॉपर कॉइन्स हैं, ब्रास एंड कॉपर कॉइन्स हैं, उसको हम वो वैल्यू देंगे जो एक सिल्वर कॉइन की वैल्यू है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जस्ट इट इज़ जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल, ठीक है. सोचो इंडिया में 100 रुपीज़ ही ख़त्म हो जाए या शॉर्टेज हो जाए, तो हमारी गवर्नमेंट बोले, ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा, इट इज़ जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल, और हमारी गवर्नमेंट बोले कि जो 50 रुपीज़ की वैल्यू है ना, वो जो 100 रुपीज़ की वैल्यू है वो 50 रुपीज़ के नोट में हो जाएगी. ठीक, अभी तो यहाँ पे पूरा प्रोसीजर होता है. उस टाइम पे आज से अराउंड 200 ईयर्स पहले सोचो, हाँ 200 के ज़्यादा ही होंगे, 200-300 ईयर्स पहले सोचो, वो तो जो नॉर्मल क्राफ्ट्स पीपल थे, जो क्राफ्टिंग वगैरह का काम करते थे, दे स्टार्ट द इलीगल मिंटिंग ऑफ द कॉइन्स. और उन्होंने क्या किया, वो घर में बैठ के कॉइन्स बना रहे थे. एंड द किंग फेल्ड टू चेक, ऑब्वियसली he failed to check the illegal minting of the coins, and therefore this system also failed. Clear? Now Karachal expedition. To secure the northern frontiers of Sultanate, Muhammad bin Tughlaq sent an army to the Kangra region. After annexing this region, the army proceeded towards Tibet. It suffered heavy casualties. Khurasan. To expand the empire, Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to conquer Khurasan. He raised a large army. The soldiers were also given 1 year's salary in advance as an incentive. However, the expedition was withdrawn because the difficulties the army would face in the alien land. The soldiers so recruited were disbanded. दो एक्सपीडिशन स्टार्ट हुए कॉन्कर करने के लिए दूसरी जगह को, बट इट फेल्ड मिजरेबली. क्लियर? नाउ विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट फिरोज शाह तुगलक. फिरोज शाह तुगलक वाज मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक's cousin. He wanted the support of the nobles and the ulema so that they would allow him to rule peacefully. Thus, he gave them bigger iqtas which were made hereditary. Basically, Firoz Shah Tughlaq was a reformer. First thing. Second of all, he was the cousin of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay. To please the ulema, he ruled according to Islamic laws. As a result, the nobles and the ulema grew very powerful and began to influence the sultan. Now what happened, when he wanted that everybody should be in his favor, when everybody will be in your favor, you are going to work very easily. So what he did, he worked according what they want. Okay, so that they come in favor of Firoz Shah. Same thing happened. As a reformer, Firoz Shah was very successful. He built many canals, tanks, wells, hospitals and rest houses. He founded new towns such as Jaunpur, Firozabad, Hisar. He set up many educational institutions, also had many Sanskrit words translated into Persian and Arabic. Clear? Now Taimur's invasion. The Mongol ruler Taimur was the ruler of large empire in Central Asia. He invaded India and attacked and looted Delhi. His army massacred thousands of people. With the loot he collected, he beautified his capital Samarkand with elegant buildings, palaces and mosques. Clear? Before leaving Delhi, Taimur appointed Khizr Khan as his deputy in India. Khizr Khan became the first Sayyid ruler. Some aspects of Tughlaq rule we are going to study. See, the Sultan. The Sultan was all powerful to rule. However, he needed the support of the nobles. He yet had to keep them in check. There was a constant struggle between Sultan and the ulema during that period. Muhammad bin Tughlaq tried to curb the power of ulemas. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, however, was lenient with them. Under the influence of ulemas, Firoz Shah brought back the Sharia laws and ruled according to them. In this, we are just reading, and I'll be giving a quick reading of some aspects of the Tughlaq rule that happened at that time, and they are not that important, but yes, you need to know at least. Okay. And the Tughlaq Sultan also tried to legitimize their rule. He did this to suggest that he ruled according to the wishes of the Khalif. Both Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah received the authority to rule from Khalif. This gave a religious legal sanctity to their rule. Okay. Now I will be covering everything, the last portion, in my next video. Till then, stay home and stay safe, and also take care and stay happy. Bye.